A 17-year-old girl vanishes during spring break in Myrtle Beach. Her cell phone pings lead investigators into the swamps of South Carolina. Then, silence for 13 long years. This is the heartbreaking story of Brittanee Drexel, a young life taken, a mother's relentless search, and a chilling confession that came far too late. Brittanee Drexel was born on October 7, 1991, and grew up in Chile, a suburb of Rochester, New York. She was athletic, bright, and full of life, with a deep love for fashion, soccer, and her close circle of friends. Despite a rare eye condition that left her blind in one eye, Brittanee never let anything slow her down. She was known for her strong spirit and independence, but like many teenagers, she also clashed with her parents. In April 2009, Brittanee was a junior in high school. Her friends planned a spring break trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Her mother Dawn said no, it was too far, it wasn't safe. But Brittanee went anyway, lying to her mom, saying she'd be staying with friends locally. Instead, she traveled nearly 900 miles south without parental permission. Once in Myrtle Beach, Brittanee stayed at the Bar Harbor Hotel. She texted her boyfriend, John Greco, back in New York throughout the trip. On the evening of April 25, 2009, at around 8 p.m., Brittanee left a friend's room and walked alone toward another hotel, just a short distance away. She was caught on surveillance footage, wearing a black and white shirt and carrying her beige purse. It was her last known sighting. At around 9:15 p.m., Brittanee stopped replying to messages. Her boyfriend became worried and alerted her mother, who in turn contacted police. Within hours, the search began. But Brittanee had vanished. Investigators tracked Brittanee's cell phone. It showed a chilling path. Her phone moved south, away from Myrtle Beach, into a rural, swampy region near Georgetown County. But there was no trace of her body, clothes, or personal belongings. The area was remote and dangerous. Suspicions arose quickly, but concrete leads were few. Her mother, Dawn Drexel, drove straight to South Carolina. She spoke to reporters. She pleaded for help. She joined the searches. But days turned into months, and months into years. There were tips, rumors, even false confessions. One theory suggested she'd been trafficked, but it was never proven. In 2016, the FBI made a heartbreaking announcement. They believed Brittanee was dead, likely murdered not long after she disappeared. The case went cold. Until May 2022. After 13 agonizing years, a registered sex offender named Raymond Moody confessed. Raymond Moody had a long criminal record, including convictions for sexually assaulting young girls. He was released from prison years before Brittanee's disappearance and had been living in South Carolina at the time. Prosecutors believe he watched Brittanee and saw an opportunity to strike when she was alone. Moody had been a suspect early on, but had flown under the radar. Now in his 60s, he admitted to kidnapping Brittanee that night, driving her to a wooded area near Georgetown, raping her, strangling her, and burying her in a shallow grave. With his cooperation, police recovered her remains from a remote patch of land. TNA confirmed what her mother had feared for over a decade. Brittanee was finally found but not alive. In October 2022, Moody pleaded guilty to all charges such as kidnapping, rape, and murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 60 years. There would be no trial, no appeal. But for Brittanee's family, justice came with unbearable sorrow. That same month, Brittanee's mother Dawn Drexel filed a civil lawsuit against Moody. The jury awarded her $700 million in damages, $200 million for actual damages and $500 million in punitive damages, while Moody had no significant financial assets. The judgment was symbolic of the devastation caused, and a declaration that Brittanee's life had value beyond comprehension. Attorneys for the Drexel family are currently attempting to locate and seize any remaining property or assets tied to Moody in a continued effort to enforce the judgment. The case of Brittanee Drexel remains one of the most chilling and emotionally wrenching spring break horror stories in American true crime history. What began as a teenager's quest for a brief escape from home turned into a nationwide tragedy that highlighted the dangers of trust, the horror of predatory criminals, and the long, painful road to justice. For over a decade, her name became synonymous with missing person flyers, fruitless searches, and a mother's relentless quest for truth. Today, Brittanee Drexel's name is a reminder to parents and young people everywhere, a reminder of how quickly freedom can become danger, a reminder of the monsters who hide in plain sight.